Hey everybody, it's Trainer Joe here. We're going to talk about Fitness February. Most people struggle with weight loss. I walk them through a process that helps them to look at it different so they can lose weight and keep it off. Most people also struggle to be consistent with their exercise and achieving general fitness. So I wanted to see if I could help you with that. We've decided to do a Fitness February to help people that are kind of on the fence, maybe need some encouragement, a boost to help you with that. Why is it so difficult to get fit, to maintain a routine that gets you to the fitness level that you're trying to get? And I'm reaching with my foot to get my drink and slide it over here closer. Thank you for your patience. Why is it so difficult to get fit? For those of you watching that struggle, you want to be fit, you want to exercise, you don't even necessarily hate it. All right, so here comes Connie. I'm struggling with exercise when it's cold outside. Okay? There you go. So there's lots of reasons that we might find ourselves struggling. One is going to be the weather. Another one, bring in some other reasons it's difficult. Another one, you might just be tired, especially as we get a little older. Your joints might hurt. Are you busy? You know, one of the biggest reasons that people don't exercise regularly, even though they might start off good first of the year, is they realize, hey, this is going to take time. Some things you can do, they really don't take time. You can do them while you do something else. Exercise, sometimes you can too, but when I tell people about losing weight, it doesn't take any time to say no to cheesecake. It does take time to walk or to lift weights or run, right? So that takes time. And when it hurts sometimes and takes time. Exactly. Deborah, I do too. I have to get to the gym or do workout at home while I watch a show that I like. Yeah, do it when you're watching a show you like, not a show you don't like. So when something takes time, there's a trade-off. And a lot of people quit exercising because they look at the trade-off and they're like, well, I can't go for a 20-minute walk or do yoga or lift weights for 30 minutes because I have this other thing. Whatever the other thing is, because anytime you exercise, you have decided, I'm going to do this instead of the other thing. And we start looking at all the important things in our lives, like things with our kids or our dog or our jobs, and this one goes by the wayside. Because the trade-off is, this is just not that important, so we don't do it. And ultimately, doesn't it come to that? It's just not important enough to take the time to do it. You can be disgusted with how you feel, how you look, your fitness level all day long, but until you decide, you know what, it's worth the time that it's going to take for me to do this. I remember when I was doing fitness training, and I had a lady come to her exercise time with me, and she said, you know, as I was leaving the house, my husband said, where are you going? She said, well, I got my session with Trainer Joe, and he said, huh? With everything we have going on, apparently it was a real busy time. They had things going on with the kids and with work, and he was like, why would you go now with everything we have going on? He was like, well, this is my time. And some people are never going to, it's always going to be pushed aside because what you have with your kids, what you have with your job, what you have with your busyness, and to move, to actually leave the house, if that's where you're going to work out, and go somewhere else and show up and do it when there's something going on at home, you feel like, well, I shouldn't be here. That's ridiculous. And when I did the fitness training, people would come to me and say, you know, the only reason I'm here today, Joe, is because I paid you in advance. Or They would kind of say, you know, as hard as it is for me to be here, this is where I need to be. And somehow you're going to have to get the mindset change that gives you permission to leave the house, get in the car, go to the gym, pay money, work with the trainer. And until you can make sense of that, you ain't going to do it. Yeah, you don't have to spend money and work with a trainer. But if it ain't been working for you, you're probably going to need to spend some money and work with the trainer. You're going to have to prove to yourself that it really matters. It's really important. You ain't going to do it just sitting around being mad that you're flabby. What else? You're tired, you're overwhelmed, you're stressed, you have a health issue that says, you know, I got a back problem. I can't do it. Okay, so we can look at ourselves, we can look at somebody else and probably get an idea of their lifestyle. Paying money for the gym helps me get out to the gym for sure. Yeah, if you make an investment, it's proving to yourself it matters. The embarrassment should not be for the person that bought the treadmill and is hanging clothes on it. The embarrassment should be for the person that never even thought about buying a treadmill. I was working with a guy once, and we were working out in my fitness studio that I had at home, and he said, Joe, I'm embarrassed. I said, what? Because he was bench pressing and I was spotting him, and it was just a weight that to him was embarrassingly light. He said, this is so little weight. He said, when I was in high school, you know, I was benching way more than this. And I said, brother, the only person that ought to be embarrassed is sitting at home, afraid to get out of the house. Megan said, I realized that sometimes I feel guilty for putting so much effort into my health. I shouldn't feel that way. You know, especially when I remember that my being healthy actually helps others in indirect ways. Yeah. All right, what else? So you're sore, you got health issues that make it difficult, you're stressed. It helps those things. You have to figure out how to justify it and become the person. Some people, I'll tell them, you know, you need to become the person that you've been making fun of. Because, you know, we make fun of people that have a priority that's higher than ours, or that it's more important. If it's more important to them than it is to us, they look kind of fanatical to us. And you need to be willing. Nancy kicked it with 40 minutes today. Way to go, Nancy. Proud of you. Nancy, invite somebody to our group that starts tomorrow in Lawrenceburg. We're directing it toward the Board of Education, if you know anybody who works in the school system, but it is going to be open to everybody. Anyway, so you're tired. You know, I remember hearing about an interview with James Gandolfini from The Sopranos, and they were asking him about health and exercise, and he said, I'm too old for that expletive. I'm too old for that. He died shortly after that. At age 51, he passed away from a heart attack. We get this thing that, you know, my life's past me. Well, you know, it's your responsibility. Reminds me of one guy I was working with. Thank you, Nancy. And he had a dad and a brother that both died young. And the handwriting was kind of on the wall for him as he was pushing 40, around 40 years old himself. And he said, you know, what's helping me is he went on to lose 80-something pounds, was exercising regularly. He said, what's helping me is I'm looking at taking care of myself like it's part of my job now. What did Nick ask? What are your top 3 exercises for new babies? Oh, for newbies. Yeah, don't let me forget that. But this guy was saying, he said, Joe, top 3 exercises for newbies. Yeah, I'll share that. He said, I'm taking care of myself like it's part of my job. And he said one day he was downstairs on the elliptical, and he was sweating, and it was early in the morning, and then he was going to go upstairs, and he had several daughters and help cook breakfast, and he went upstairs, and he was sweating, and one of his daughters said, Dad, why are you all sweaty? He said, I've been downstairs on the elliptical, and it surprised her. And he said, honey, that's me telling you that I love you. And then one day he was eating he was not a healthy eater before I got a hold of him. And One day he was eating something, and his daughter said, "Dad, what is that you're eating?" He said, "This is a tilapia lettuce wrap." He said, "This is me telling you that I love you." Guys, it speaks. What we decide to do in the trade-offs we're doing are talking about what's important to us. Remember Dave Ramsey saying, you want to know what's important to somebody? Just look in their checkbook. Where do you spend your money? Where do you invest? Where do you invest your time? Is there evidence that you care? Is there evidence that you care about your health? A lot of people miss it because they think it's going to require more than it actually will, which takes us to the question, yeah, you can't outrun your fortune. That's what takes us to what Nick asked. What are the 3 exercises that I recommend for newbies? I recommend that you start really, really simple. You're not going to clean your house if you won't make your bed. And if I can't get you to walk for 20 minutes, I'm probably not going to get you to do more. So walking is huge. Will you walk for 20 minutes a day? When I find a lot of people that I work with, they'll lose weight, they'll get excited, they'll incorporate the walking, they'll feel so much better, they're sleeping better, they're off their meds, and all this great stuff is happening. And then they're looking at themselves and like, I'd like to get a little fitness, I'd like to get a little muscle tone. And then we move into more. But you don't need to move into more until you're willing to lose your weight. Walk. Lose your weight and walk. I like to start with that. Now, if you're really motivated, and I noticed Dan was on here, and Dan's at the gym, he's doing the ropes, he's doing leg work, he's doing all this stuff, and he's into it, and he loves it. And it's not hard for him in the sense that he's committed to it. And once you're committed to it, we don't really have to worry about it anymore. It's like Heather I was working with, and I'm writing down the 3 exercises. I'll mention a couple that I like in addition to walking, 3 exercises. But Heather was doing my program, and I said, Heather, if you'll do these things every day, I'll give you a shirt after doing them for 7 days in a row. And one of them was to walk for 20 minutes. And then the last day, she was doing it every day, and the last day she didn't do it. She came in, and I said, what happened? She said, oh, well, all these things happened. My son, I had to pick up from school. He's a first grader. She was a single mom. She lost her keys, and he had homework, and she was tired, and she didn't get in her walk. And I didn't give her the shirt because she didn't do what we agreed to. And then a few days later, she said, I was mad when you didn't give me the shirt, the prize, under the circumstances when I didn't get in the last day of walking. But she said, but then I was reminded when she was in the military. She said, I was in the military for 2 years, and we did PT every day, even if I was tired or lost my keys or whatever went wrong, because in the military, it's a standard. It's a standard. When it's a standard for you, you do it. We don't have to worry about it anymore. And I'm not necessarily saying it has to be. If you're getting it done because you like it, because you like the way you feel, because whatever reason, great. If you're not getting it done, you might need to make it a standard and just say, you know what? I'm a daggone human being. I'm a Ferrari. I've got a body. I get one. It's important. It needs to be a standard for me to get in exercise regularly. I owe that to myself and to the people in my network, community, my family. I owe it. Just like Megan was just saying, this helps other people. Whether you care about that or not, it ought to be enough of a priority that there's this thing in your life that it is getting done somehow. We can look at our lives and see, is this a priority? Well, you never do it. It's like the lady that said, I missed my workout yesterday. That makes 10 years in a row. Okay, you're not there yet. Fitness February is to help you get there. This can be what primes the pump for you. So just if you want to engage with us for Fitness February on our Facebook, Deborah's got some stuff she's posting about it. Come to one of our groups, and we'll help get you prime the pump, get you motivated. We have groups. If you want to do this, if you're ready to get with it, let us help you. We'll help you with it. We have a brand new group starting tomorrow, February 6th. It's not in Lexington. Get over it. It's a 30-minute drive, and then you can come back to Lexington for the rest of the sessions. If you join the one in Lawrenceburg tomorrow, you can come to the one in Lexington for session 2 next week. Lawrenceburg's going to be at the Senior Citizen Center at 5 o'clock. So if you're working till 5, you can't come to that one. But if you can get off early or your schedule allows, come to that one at 5 o'clock. We'll give you details on here about when and where and all that stuff so you can sign up for that. You should come to that. That'll help you prime the pump for Fitness February and get you going. A lot of people just aren't sure. How can I get your workout plan video? Great question, Nick. We do have a workout plan video. And I'm going to ask Deborah to put the link to that. Deborah, can you put that on there so people can get that? And it goes over some of those basic exercises, Nick, that you were talking about. Because basically what we want with a workout is to get our whole body engaged, to work our largest muscles. They're the one that are going to do the most for us. They're going to help keep the metabolism burning and make us stronger and change our body composition. So if we focus on the larger muscles, too many people are saying, I'm going to do this exercise, or my triceps. When a push-up works your triceps, your biceps, your back, your legs, it's just, and you're working on one little muscle. So push-ups would be one of the primary exercises. Now, there's lots of things that can do things similar to a push-up, but that would be one of the primary exercises. And then something that works your back. So that would be some form of a pull, which you'll see on the workout video that I did with Josh, a good pull exercise, and then a good leg exercise. So we show them, so I would do some sort of a pull, then a push, like a push up. A pull would be like a pull up, but a lot of people can't do a pull up. So we do something to where you don't have to have that much strength to get the pull benefit. And then a leg. And we'll show those. Of course, you have people doing squats, but a lot of people are like, I ain't going to squat or deadlift. That's fine, you don't have to. But you need to go through a movement similar to that to get that kind of a benefit. So, basic stuff, guys. The technical part, which I realize once you're decided, I got to do this, then you're really interested in the technical part, which we'll show you in that video. But if your mind's not in it yet, if your heart's not in it yet, it don't matter how technical we can give you the best workout that has ever been created by man, and it means nothing till we get in your head, you get in your head and decide this is a big deal, it's important. Anything else? Hey, will you give up a month of doing things the old way? Look at your old way. It stinks. If you're totally out of shape, your old way stinks. Would you give a month where you say, you know what, I'm going to commit to a month of doing it different? That's our Fitness February. Let's do that together. And if you're willing to commit to that month, we're probably going to try to convince you to give it a year. Even with the pain that you have in your life, the stress you have in your life, how busy you are in your life, and just see, to experiment with it for that period of time. And Deborah's asking, what about the web edition? And she's asking that because she knows some people can't come to our groups for whatever reason. They don't live around here, or the time just doesn't work for them. So we have all of our program on video and can send that to you. You'll get everything. We email it. You get the videos. It's just the digital version of everything. So if you're like, I would love to do this, but I can't get to a group, we're doing a special for 1 week on the web edition. It's $299, but if you get it before the end of February 12th, which is a week from today, then it's going to be half price. And Deborah, if you'll list that promo code on there too, I would appreciate it. I believe it's FITFEB, FITFEB, FITFEB. You go to our website and we'll send you the web edition with everything you need to go through our 21-day transformation program. All right, let's prime the pump. Your current lifestyle is getting you where you are right now. Something's going to have to change. Come on. Don't be ashamed of starting from being out of shape. That's where we start. That's nothing wrong with that. The reason a lot of people don't do this is they think it's going to take more than it is. You know what it's going to take? Going for a 20-minute walk and being consistent. Then you're going to want more once you get that consistency. It's like that app, which great name, Couch to 5K. Day 1, get off the couch. Day 2, get off the couch and walk to the front door. Day 3, make it to your mailbox. That's how this works. This is not a sprint. It's you deciding you're going to do it. Then I would recommend you go slower than faster, or otherwise you're going to hurt yourself. So it's just commit to it. Begin with the end in mind. This is where I'm going to end up, and it starts with me getting out of the bed today. Well, Deborah's in. All right. Anybody else in? Let's do this together. Guys, I would love to walk this with you. Anything else? You need a mindset change, we'll help you with that. Got the web edition. Come to Anderson County Senior Citizen Center tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and we'll really get you started. We're not going to exercise there. It's just the seminar where I'm leading that seminar. And it's live. It's real. It's live. Would love to see you at that. And then you can come back to Lexington and join that group But if you don't want to miss session 1, you're going to need to come to Anderson County tomorrow, Lawrenceburg, and then you can come back to Strong Shop in Lexington if you're in Lexington for session 2 next week. Connie's in. All right. Hey, guys, this was fun. Really enjoyed it. God bless. Deborah, Nick, Connie, Dan, all you guys, thanks for joining in, and everybody else. Share this video if you would so other people can benefit from what we're talking about and getting involved and changing their lives. God bless. See you next time.